What is going on, everybody? Today we're going over the very popular request NIO stock, ticker symbol NIO. A lot of you guys ask me to do financial fundamental following the numbers about NIO, and I will. Current price is around $60. It was $3. I would rather buy it at $3, even if the fundamentals are bad. Doesn't matter. I haven't seen them yet. Instead of 60, we're gonna go over that and we're gonna get a better broad picture of where NIO is, where it should be. Is it going to the moon? Is it gonna pass Tesla? Or is it going to zero? No one knows. It's all speculation, but I would like to see what the numbers are telling me, because numbers don't lie. People do, remember that. Without further ado, let's get started with NIO stock. Let's go over some basic numbers, guys. I don't care about this. Everyone are talking at $60, $63. I don't care about that, and neither should you. The only number that you need to care about in the summary page is this one: market cap. Market cap $98.5 billion. $100 billion. Let's round it up another dollar or two. $100 billion for NIO stock. Do you think it's really worth $100 billion? You tell me. I can tell you without even looking at the numbers that it is not. It is not worth $100 billion. Earning per share, the last 12 months for every share that you bought, theoretically you are getting a negative $44. I don't know how it's possible, but sure. I will see the financials. This year was crazy. This year was crazy and nothing makes sense. There's no PE ratio just yet. I'm sure it's off the sky. 1 year target 46. We're at 63 now. So again, this is 30-40% above the 1 year target, and I haven't even gone to even look at what's going on. 52-week range, $2 to $67, where we are at all-time high. According to the analyst, we are overvalued. We're gonna go over the analyst. Let's look at the graph just before we do anything. This is insane. Went from nothing to about this one in about January, since a year ago. So in a year they went, I don't know, 20x. I would buy at $2, $3, $4. At 60 and $100 billion, what do you think? That it's gonna go to $1 trillion market cap? Amazon level, Google level? Seriously, electric car? If anything, Tesla will go to $1 trillion before NIO. I think it's super overvalued, but doesn't matter what I think. I want to see what the numbers telling me. So far, then this number, $100 billion, with a negative earning per share of $44 per share, price target for the year 46, doesn't look good just off the bat. Let's move on. Let's see what else the analysts have. I'm looking at the analyst tab. Let's see what we got. In the next 5 years per annual, they're expected to grow. Look at this, guys. Negative 0.15%. Let me repeat. This is important. In the next 5 year per annual. So every year for the next 5 years on average, they expected to grow by a negative 0.15%, 0.15%. Next year is gonna be an anomaly. They're gonna, not an anomaly compared to the next 5 years. They expect to grow by 46%. I will link at the end of this video Tesla. In the next 5 years they're supposed to grow. This number was around 400% positive, not negative 0.15%. But you do you. You buy NIO at $100 billion. That's on you. All my opinion, not the financial advice. This year they grew by 60%. Again, Tesla grew like 5,000% this year. You compare this to Tesla, and I don't own Tesla. I really don't own shares of Tesla. But Tesla at $700 billion is making a lot more sense to me than NIO at $100 billion, because Tesla is gonna grow by 400% and NIO is not growing. That's what it says. That black and white. They're telling you that they're not gonna grow. Gonna be flat, 0.15% negative for the next 5 years. You do with this information as you wish. If you look here, we got 15 analysts covering basically NIO. Average price target 46.21. Okay, 46.21. Low person says it's worth 13 bucks, and the high person says it's 84. So even if we go to the 84, which, well, you know, it's a bubble, everything can happen. That's about an upside of, I don't know, 30% from here. That's what you have as the most optimistic analyst for NIO. Sure, you can say, hey, there's battery, there's all this, it's gonna go to the moon, it's gonna pass Tesla. It's not, at least not in my opinion. Especially not in the next 5 years, where they're gonna have negative or zero growth. And look at this, last upgrade and downgrade. First one was the last one was downgrade. Citigroup from buy to neutral at January 12th, which was basically this morning. Downgraded them. The stock can go up, it doesn't matter. People are listening to TikTok and YouTube saying it's gonna go to the moon and past Tesla. That's what pushed the price. It doesn't mean it's sustainable, and once it's gonna come crashing down, NIO will come crashing down hard, in my opinion. Let's go over and see what the numbers are telling us. I'm in the finance tab. Okay, let's go over some stuff. Income statement. Let's see what they have. I could be wrong. I do not have a position in Tesla or NIO, not long, not short. I'm following the numbers. Stop listening to people. It's all opinions. Listen to the numbers. So let's see what we got for the income statement. In a glance, I would like to see total revenue growing. So let's see if it's growing. Zero revenue in 2017. Okay. I don't know if it's true or not. 2018, they ended the year with 5 billion. Then they went to almost 8 billion. That's good in 2019. And the last 12 months, instead of growing, they went down. Okay. Take a note. They went down to 7.5 billion compared to 7.8 billion. So they grew from 2018 to 2019 from almost 5 billion to 8 billion, let's say 80% growth. And then they went down from 7.8 billion to 7.5 billion in revenue. I assume because there's competition. They're not the only company in China that makes electric cars. There's Xpeng and I assume a couple of others. And most likely more competition will come, including the companies that are already making cars. They will make electric cars as well. Don't dismiss all the brands out there, Toyota, Honda, whatever the case, Ford. Everyone will make electric car, not just Tesla and NIO. Something to consider. And then competition will be fierce and this price will not be sustainable. But as at the first glance, I see total revenue going down. That's not a good sign. Look at this total gross profit. How much they make gross before paying for everyone per car. And the number, let's see, yes, it is a negative 1.1 billion, but I want to see any sort of progress. So let's see. So 2 years ago, in 2018, the gross profit was 250 million negative. Okay, that's, you know. And a year after that, it went 4 times worse to 1.2 billion, and now it's 1.15 billion. Not a lot of change in the gross profit in the last 12 months. But still a lot worse than 2 years ago. As I said, in the last 2 years, there's more and more competition, and they're losing 4 times more gross profit than they did in 2018. Yeah, but you go follow TikTok people. I follow the numbers. Let's see what else we got. This is that's the number that I like to see. Diluted net income. The net income available for the stockholder, you and me. If you bought the stock, this is what you're getting, a negative net of $10.5 billion. And the revenue is 7.5 plus. So let me do a little calculation. But first I want to see an improvement. So in 2017, they went from 7.5 negative to 23 billion negative to 11 billion negatives to 10 billion negative. It's not like Tesla went from, I don't know, I did a Tesla video between 2017 18. They went from like 100 billion negative to like like a minus million or something like that in 2 years. Go watch the video at the end. But here there's not a lot of change. It went from 11 billion to 10 billion. It's negative, not positive. What does that mean in a rough calculation, guys? The revenue is 7.5 billion and the net income is 10 billion loss. You do the math. Also gross profit for 7.5 billion revenue, they're losing 1.1 billion. So I would say, you know what, let's make numbers simple. If they make a car that costs $1,000, the car cost about, let's say, $1,000 to make, just to make it nicely, roughly. They generate from that car about $800. Okay, so for every, give or take, I don't know, give or take, for every $1,000 that they sell, they get back 800. That's not really sustainable. Let's move on to the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, I would like to see the total asset growing year over year to show stability and a great company, great profit, great future. So what do we have? We went from $10 billion in 2017 to $18 billion in 2018. That's good. That's 80% growth. And the end of 2019, we got 14.5 billion. I do not have the number right here, 2020 just yet, but it's not good. They already lost. The revenue already went down $4 billion last year. I will probably need to do an update video about NIO, but this doesn't look good. Assets needs to grow and grow and grow. And the liabilities, I care about this one, the long-term debt. So you click here. Here we go, long-term debt. This is the combined. So they have a long-term debt of $8.8 billion in 2019 compared to $1.1 billion debt a year before. So that 8 times worse in debt, and they're losing $10 billion net income. It might all sound gibberish to you and you can say it's gonna go to the moon, but if a company is taking $1 billion debt 2 years ago and now they're taking almost $9 billion debt a year ago, again, don't know what 2020 brings, that tells me, as I said, if you make a car that costs you $1,000 and you sell it for like 800, roughly, just for the simple numbers, you need to sustain that somehow. So you're taking almost $9 billion debt compared to $1 billion debt a year before. That's how you sustain it until eventually either you go broke or you make it, or basically stay stagnant and not grow because there's more competition and more companies are going into the market with a better either brand, let's say Tesla, with a better balance sheet, with better cash flow, with less debt. It's all connected, and this number is very bad. In my opinion, you can do whatever that you want with your opinion and your NIO. But long-term debt, they jumped from $1 billion loan to almost $9 billion loan in 2019. I do not have the 2020 number. If this number goes down drastically, great. I don't see it, but I would have to do an updated video once Yahoo Finance actually update their numbers. Let's go over the cash flow. Let's see what we got, guys. Operating cash flow, the money that comes in from selling NIO cars, negative 600 million, but yeah, I'll give them that, a lot better than almost $8.7 billion negative. So they did grow, don't get me wrong, I'm very objective here. They grew by 10 times, selling 10 times more cars in the last year, which is a good thing. It's a good thing, that's a great thing. That's the only thing that helps them from going like drowning in debt, the $9 billion debt that they took. They went from a negative $9 billion to a negative $600 million in actually selling NIO cars, which is a great thing. See what else we got. Issue of debt. Issue of debt, the issue, let's start before. Let's start with 2018. Let's get a better picture. 2018, they made $2.7 billion issue of debt. Okay, they took a loan, $2.7 billion. and they paid about 120 million. So they carry about $2.6 billion loan. What they have done the year after that, repayment of 2.6 billion loan. You see, how did they pay that? So they pay 2018, that's good. They pay 2018 by taking a loan in 2019, 5.7 billion. So they now owe another, they pay their old loan, refinance, and they have $3 billion loan on their balance sheet, $3 billion loan. And what they have done in the last 12 months, they paid from that 3 billion, well, they took 4.5 billion to pay, instead of 3 billion, to pay 1.8. That's not good. So now they have 3 billion, okay? Let's say 3 billion minus 1.8, that's 1.2, plus 4.5. So now they owe $5.7 billion loan, okay? Look at this. I'll touch this at the end, the free cash flow. But repurchase of capital stock, have they done any buyback? No, zero. They did about 7 million in 2018, zero here, and nothing here so far. And the free cash flow, while people are happy to see a jump from negative $10 billion in 2019 to $1.8 billion in the last 12 months, I would be happy to see that number too. This is a great number. It's still negative, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot better than 10 billion to a negative 1.8. Do not forget about this one. Go back to the balance sheet and go back to the total liabilities and non-current liabilities, and you got yourself a long-term debt of $7 billion. Okay? And if you go here, and remember that we said they have like $5.8 billion in new debt. Well, let's do 10.5 minus 5.8. Let's say minus 5.4 to make a number nicely. That's let's say that's 5 billion negative minus where we are now. So they made about $3 billion in cash flow. So that number should be at the end of the day 4.8 instead of 5.8. Still a jump from negative 10 to, let's say, negative 5, not to negative 1.8. I have also looked at the Open Insider website to see if there's any buying or selling for NIO. There isn't. All the numbers doesn't add up long term, especially $100 billion market cap at $60. The whole electric vehicle as a whole is in a bubble. I don't justify Tesla at 700 billion either, unless you see my video and you see the fair value according to the formula that I made there, which is $1,000 plus. I'll link it at the end. But for this, I can't even do anything because the earning per share is negative. The analysts are saying that in the next 5 years, it's going to be zero growth, 0.15% negative growth. Tesla has 400% growth, something like that, in the next 5 years. There's a difference. You can't just say NIO will beat Tesla because you bought some NIO shares at like $60, you can, or 50 or 40. You can say that. That doesn't make it true. Look at the numbers don't lie, people do. And if I bring you guys any sort of value, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification. I hope this was very valuable information. I'm not buying NIO, I'm not planning on buying NIO anytime soon, nor Tesla, but if I had to compare the two, Tesla is the better bet in my opinion only. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Yeah.